Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
It's Jeff. So, I don't know if you've heard, or maybe you have, but Jimmy Kimmel was fired from ABC for his comments about Charlie Kirk. The FCC chairman that was appointed by Donald Trump, Brendan Carr, suggested that ABC broadcast license was at risk if they didn't do anything about what Kimmel had said. And this is what Kimmel had said, okay, quote, "The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving." Okay. Where in that was false? I mean, what he said there, where was there anything wrong in what he said there? Okay? The MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid, the assassin, who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. And that's what they've been doing. Hell, Kash Patel, come right out before the fucking, the suspect was even caught, was saying, "Oh, this was Democrats, they did this." Okay? This was already coming out of their fucking mouths. We heard this. This is just recent. Okay? Where is it that Jimmy Kimmel said here was wrong? Okay? And yes, they're trying, I think more than trying to score political points, they're trying to agitate and increase the level of violence in this country here by saying things like this, that or doing things like this when people speak the truth. There was nothing that was said here that Kimmel had pointed out. In fact, it wasn't even a joke. I mean, they're making it sound like he was making fun of somebody. No, he wasn't. He was laying out exactly what the right wing was doing, which is what he does every night. Okay, on his show, he would point out something that was going on with Trump or somebody in the administration, and he would kind of illustrate it as look what's happening, and then say, well, isn't this contrary to what he was making it out and trying to make it a little humorous, but he wasn't joking when he said this. He was laying out exactly what was going on in this week in our government here, that they wanted to try to characterize Tyler as a left-wing wackadoodle, basically, because he spent one semester on an online college thing for electrical engineering or something like that. Oh, he was radicalized. Okay, trying to find some way, any thread, anything they can think of to paint this guy as Democrat when he was anything but. Okay? Tyler Robinson was anything but Democrat. Okay? He loved Trump. He dressed up as Trump. Okay? He listened to Charlie Kirk, which is, I'm finding out a lot of people never even listened to Charlie Kirk before this murder happened. Now everybody knows his name, but before a lot of people didn't even know who the hell this guy was. Okay? But Tyler was one of those people who would hang around in those little corners of right-wing extremism, and that's where he found Charlie Kirk. And that's, basically, what he is. I mean, you have to be MAGA in order to follow a guy like that, like they do, okay? And I feel like, this is ridiculous that, people are upset that the truth is being said here, And the Republicans are hurting because they got egg on their face, because they were hoping, they crossing their fingers, praying to God that, oh, let's hope it's a Democrat that did it. Okay, who's out there complaining about Republicans and their cold-heartedness and trying to suggest that it'd be a good thing if Charlie Kirk was killed by a Democrat? Really? Yet you're out here saying, oh, why isn't the Democrat showing any feeling? You guys wouldn't have shown any feeling for this guy anyway. A lot of you people didn't even like him because he was starting to say things against Trump that he didn't like. A lot of you people were tuning him out, which is what, some are saying is the motive to why Tyler shot Charlie in the first place. Was he was saying things that he didn't agree with and he didn't like it, and so we went after him. Although I think it's more than that. I think the problem is much more than that. I mean, and I don't even think trans has a damn thing to do with this here. Okay, it doesn't even fit into this puzzle here of how we're trying to get this guy from point A to point B here, where he killed a political commentator. Okay, how the hell does trans ever come into that? Okay, how does he link trans with Charlie Kirk? Was Charlie Kirk trans or something? I don't know. But, the more they push this narrative, the less sense it makes. Okay? But the fact is, Trump's celebrating over this, that Kimmel's gone, that he's been fired. Okay? He's elated. He's online there making all kinds of remarks. Oh. This guy's a fucking lunatic. It's like a kid, for Christ's sake. This is your president, MAGA. An 80-year-old child. Okay? He's out there making a fool out of himself, and you guys don't seem to give two shits about it anymore. Okay? That he does this stuff. I remember way back when he was running for his first time as president, how you guys thought it was stupid that he spent so much time online at the late hours of the night and into the early hours of the morning commenting on everything, and stuff. It's like, would this guy ever sleep? He was obsessed with the fucking internet. Okay? Well, he still does it. I mean, he can't keep his mouth shut. His true thoughts come out every night on the phone. That's why the media keeps watching everything he posts, because that's the only time you're ever going to get the truth out of this guy is when he's on his Truth Social thing or something like that and saying something stupid. Okay? So, Carr, the guy, the Brendan Carr, the FCC chair, sitting here going after ABC and Disney. Okay? Now, they've been going after ABC and Disney since the beginning of the year. Okay? Over DEI hiring efforts that the two companies were using. Okay? Bullshit like that. Now, so it comes to no surprise that, in some fashion, they're trying to ratchet up their attack now and get these two companies to do what Trump wants to see done, and that's to, get rid of Kimmel here. But here's the thing. Here's the thing here. Firing Kimmel doesn't stop anything. As a private citizen, he can say whatever the hell he wants. He's already popular, so if he says anything, it's going to be on the front page of the news anyway. Okay, he can't be fired again. Same thing, with what was his, the other guy there this year that got shit canned. Okay, these people, you fire them, you got no leverage on them now. Their contracts are gone. Okay, so they're free. They're free as a bird now. So if Kimmel wants to come out and start talking stuff online or something like that, how you gonna stop him then? You're gonna go after the internet companies? I mean, how far are you willing to let Trump do this shit? Stepping all over democracy, stepping all over the freedom of speech. Okay, how far are you gonna let this go? Okay, he's Trump's laying waste to the fucking cable, news and all that stuff. I mean, people are just, they're canceling their fucking cable. They're going to streaming services now, okay? Because people are fed up with this shit. They're seeing the government eat up the goddamn cable network, so why should people pay money for something that they're not allowed to watch, okay? I mean, it's just ridiculous. The president is telling you what you can watch. Okay, the president that you despise because he's a pedophile, okay, you're going to let him tell you what you can watch. You're going to let him pick the fucking people you get to listen to. Okay? That in itself is a total violation of the First Amendment. The government is not supposed to do that. Okay? Read the First Amendment. The government is not allowed to tell people what they can or cannot say. And here you got the president himself directly breaking that fucking law. Not that it should surprise anyone, because that's what Trump's good at, breaking laws and getting away with it. Okay? He's been doing that his whole fucking life. And it's only been his fucking money as his shield that kept him from getting in trouble so bad he'd be sitting in prison right now wearing orange. Okay? But that's what he's doing. And you guys, you know, you bitched about Bill Clinton and this land deal that went, you know, that you said, oh, it was criminal. You wasted all kinds of taxpayer dollars trying to get him kicked out of office. Okay? And you failed. Now we got a guy who really is a criminal, and you guys don't want to fucking do anything. Okay? So don't come to me and tell me that I'm misinformed, that I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't come to me and tell me that. I remember the things that have gone on in this country. I remember. You guys, a lot of you people don't. You were born like, you know, yesterday. And to you, history doesn't begin until you were born. You don't think about what's happened before you were even, you know, an itch in your daddy's pants. Okay? Think about this. There are numerous occasions where the right wing has been so fucking mucked up, okay, where they have done things contrary to what they're doing and saying now. But now, all of a sudden, when they're in the power, now they can do anything they want. And they don't care what they said in the past about how much they hate it. They love it now. They love what they're doing now. They love taking people out. Okay? This is ridiculous. I mean, I really feel like, you know, we are living in a new form of government. Okay? We are. And it's not a friend to us. No more. It's not a friend to us anymore. Why do you think we got so many radical people on the left running for governors, senator, stuff? It's because people have had it. Okay? They've seen too much of this country spiral out of control. They want to get involved. Okay? They want to get involved. And I'm telling you, people, we're going to have to go through hell before we come to the light. All right? And when I'm talking about, Trump is hell. We have to get past this guy eventually, okay, in order to get back to where we are supposed to be. And that means one of these radical Democrats that a lot of you MAGA people don't like is going to make it to the White House. And when he gets in there, or when she gets in there, there's going to be a lot of fucking reversal, a lot of change, okay, where you guys thought you had it your way, and you're not going to have it your way anymore. And why? Because you let this son of a bitch Trump run rampant over you. You've been letting this guy walk on every fucking person in this country. When you piss people off, they fight back. That's what they do. And this is where, you know, you're doing this shit here with comedians and stuff like that. It's going to piss people off. It's going to energize more than you can possibly imagine. And I'm telling you, next year is going to be a telling thing. Okay? You guys, the only way Trump is going to save MAGA is if he fucking, you know, says there's not going to be any midterms. You know, he'll try to shut it down in some fashion. Okay? I don't know how he could do it. All right, if he ever announced he was going to do that, I think that would be the shot heard around the world, basically. Okay, and then from that day on, it's not going to be anything but Blood City on the streets of this country, where you have the right fighting the left. It's not going to be the North and the South. It's going to be the right versus the left. Okay, that's going to be the clash on the streets. One side is going to have to wipe out the other in order to fix the problem. So I don't know how long it's going to take for our foot to come down on this crap, but we simply cannot allow the FCC under Trump's guidance to go around and silencing people because they said something that, they misunderstood as, he's insulting or he's making fun of something. What Jimmy Kimmel said was not comedy. He was pointing out an obvious thing that we all know is true. But because Trump didn't like hearing it, now it's bad. We made the emperor pissed off, so now we have to tremble at his anger. Really? A fucking lunatic. They're going to be afraid of a lunatic. I'd be more afraid of the lunatics that listen to him and follow his lead. They're crazier than he is. What's their excuse? Okay? What the fuck is their excuse? What's J.D. Vance's excuse for filling in for Charlie Kirk, today or yesterday on a show or something like that? When does the vice president get involved in stupid internet commentator? That's ridiculous. Is anyone going to punish Jesse Waters for his remarks on Fox saying, we have to go to war with the Democrats? Is anyone going to punish Fox News for suggesting that homeless people need to be killed with lethal injections? Which do you think is more insulting? What Fox said or what Jimmy Kimmel said? One is the truth, the other is just agitation. There was no point in saying any of that. Why would somebody suggest we kill homeless people with lethal injections? How does that solve anything? Okay? What gives anyone the right to just arbitrarily go up to a homeless person and inject them with something to kill them? Okay? What Jimmy Kimmel was pointing out on his show was something that was actually happening. It was the truth. But because Trump didn't want to hear the truth, now the guy's out of a job. But I doubt you're going to shut him up, though. Okay? I doubt you're going to shut him up. It's like Stephen Colbert. You're not going to be able to shut him up either. After he's done with he's got a few months left on his show. Hey, he'll be a free man. He'll be able to say and do whatever the fuck he wants. And no one's going to be able to take the FCC and go after him or leverage his job away from him. He will do just fine. Okay? And I think, as far as that goes, I think comedians today really should not be attached to any networks anymore. Because the networks are only there for money. And when the money is threatened, then guess what happens? People lose their jobs. So I don't think there should be any more nighttime comedians on TV. They should be on their own, doing their thing on independent networks or something like that, or online. Something that, the FCC can't fucking touch. Or even go nightclubs and stuff like that. People record everything. There's a number of ways a person can get what they got to say out. Okay? So this might be a triumph for Trump, but he hasn't really stopped anything. Okay? What he's done is he's encouraged more people to come out and speak out against this shit. Okay? But Americans today, they're being desensitized to the propaganda. They get rid of all the truth tellers, and then Trump feels he'll be in control. And how do you do that? But you make people, you tell people lies that, fake news this, fake news that. Okay? And if you want to listen to him and believe him, well then you're going to be desensitized to when you really hear bullshit. You're not going to know it when you hear it because you want to believe him when he says something's fake news. Okay? But I'm going to close here with this comment here. As far as Jimmy Kimmel is concerned. People watched Jimmy Kimmel, on both sides of the political aisle. Okay? The right and the left watched him. If he pissed off the right wing so much Okay? Why were they watching? I could ask that about, my videos. I got a lot of people watching my videos. They don't like what I say, but they watch. Why? And who the hell are you to sit and tell other people what they can watch? You go out and you shut people up because you don't like what they say, but you wouldn't let that happen if somebody shut up Charlie Kirk from what he was saying. No, you don't like that. But so what gives you the right to go and do that to us? If you don't like watching people like Jimmy Kimmel, then shut the fucking TV off, change the channel, do something else, read a book, go do something. Okay? Nobody's forcing you to listen to these people if you don't like them for what they say. But you don't have any right to tell what millions of other people can watch. I'm sorry, you're not the fucking, czar of the television. If you don't like it, there's a reason there's an off switch on that motherfucker. Use it. Okay? Use that goddamn thing. Stop trying to force everybody else to swallow your pill, to swallow your shit. Okay? Nobody's dragging you to do it. Christ. I'm sick of people doing that. I'm sick of people doing that. They try to force everybody else to watch the crap that they watch. And it's like, you know what? I don't want to watch that. And so I leave. But I don't tell them, you can't watch it. I'm taking that TV out of here. I'm shutting that cable. You don't see me doing that. But boy, the right wing does it. And who the hell do you think keeps the hate going in this country the most? It's always the right wing. Because they can't leave people alone. They're always down their throats about something. They can't just live and let live. They got to be in charge of your life, that person's life, that person's life. They have to be in control of everything because control is what they're all about. They don't feel like the country is going in the right direction unless they got their claws in everybody's fucking life. That's what makes them un-American. That's what makes them anti-American terrorists because they are so anti-American and their thinking and then what they say and what they do. They don't deserve to live in this country. They violate the fucking very heart of what this nation's all about. They can't be citizens. They should not be citizens here. If you cannot agree with what this country is, then you cannot be a citizen. Okay? You can't be. So don't lie to yourself and say, "Oh, I'm an American. I'm a patriot." Don't do that. Don't be an idiot. Okay? You can't wear a MAGA hat and then say you're a patriot at the same time, okay? Bullshit on you, okay? That's what it is. You're just trying to sell bullshit. I don't believe you. I don't care if you're a veteran. If you're wearing a MAGA hat and you're a veteran, you're an idiot. If anyone should know what a patriot is, it's a veteran. But when a veteran gives up that fucking mantle of being a veteran and hands over that for a fucking MAGA hat, you're out of your goddamn mind. You need help. You need to talk to a therapist. You need to get help. Okay? Because you're a danger. You turn to the dark side, as they say in Star Wars. You become the Sith. That's what you are now. You've lost your way. So anyway, that's it for today. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. I'll talk to you later.